The light is coming to give back everything the darkness stole. Today we're talking about an album that not only changed lives, but frankly it shifted the course of pop music. Ariana's fourth studio album, Sweetener. Depending on the time of year, it's either my favorite or my third favorite album by her. And right now, I would say it's my third. In this video, we're going to deep dive into the Sweetener era, from the songs to the music videos, performances, and any other iconic moments or events that happened. Okay, let's get into the era. Sweetener was released on August 17th, 2018. There are 15 tracks on the album, and the era itself had 3 singles. But before we can get into the era, we need to backtrack about a year before. On May 22nd, while Ariana was on her Dangerous Woman World Tour, one of the dates she had was in Manchester, and 22 people were killed at that concert from a suicide bombing. Ariana was pretty distraught after this had happened because it was very much a tragic event, and she took a break from touring from about a month after that. She then organized the One Love Manchester concert event to raise money for the victims and their families, and this event happened on June 4th, 2017. She performed along with many other artists such as Little Mix, Miley Cyrus, Justin Bieber, and many more. And with this event, it raised around 17 million pounds. After this, she finished her Dangerous Woman World Tour, and she stepped away not only from social media but also the public eye for, I would say, about a year. Like, no one had heard from her. Which now takes us to the beginning of the Sweetener era. On November 13th, 2016, Ariana posted on her Snapchat story that she had finished her 4th album. Well, she just made a bunch of songs. Oh, how I miss chronically online Ariana. I'm about to lose my mind with this fucking fleece jacket. Promo for the era began when she released a snippet video of one of the tracks that were on her album, and she posted this on her social media accounts with the caption "See you next year" on December 31st, 2017. And the snippet video that she released for this actually ended up being track 15 on the album. So April 20th, 2018 comes, and she releases the lead single of the era, No Tears Left to Cry. When I say this was a comeback single, this was a comeback single. It was supposed to be released on April 27th, 2018, but it got pushed forward like a week earlier to not clash with Post Malone's album release because they were like on the same label or something, but we're grateful. Something really shifted when she released this, because I would say this is the beginning of the fandom not liking her singles when they first come out. Like, they hate it, but then they later on come to love them. Shockingly, this is probably one of my least favorite songs on the album. I would put it at like number 9 or 10. Not because it's bad, but because she really outsold herself with the deep cuts. There's no competition. Ariana wrote this song to kind of be like a positive outlook on negativity or any tragic event that can happen in someone's life. But fans and critics kind of took this as her own response to the Manchester bombing that had happened. I really love this song lyrically because it very much gives laid back girl energy. Picking it up, loving, I'm living, so we turn it up. Yeah. I have a really interesting relationship with this song because for the longest time I had no idea what she was saying in the chorus. The enunciation had very much not made its way here yet. So the verse where she says, "I just want you to come with me, we on another mentality," I had no idea what she was actually saying until I looked it up. I did not like this song when it first came out. I didn't get it personally, but it eventually clicked for me probably months later when I was like on a drive or something, and I was just like, oh, I see what you did there. I like it. I really love the cover art for this song. I really think platinum blonde suits her. I would say it's probably one of my favorite hair colors on her. Ariana very much likes the left side of her face. She was not gonna let y'all catch her lacking. The side profile is eating here. The music video for No Tears Left to Cry is also very top tier. I would say it's top 5 videos in her catalog. has a concept of being disoriented and thrown off by life. Obviously, my favorite part is the rotating hallway. She very much took this from High School Musical 3 Troy Bolton. She also risked her life to hang off of a staircase in the middle of the sky. Staircases were like kind of her thing during this era. I also want to give the dancing umbrella men their flowers. My favorite performance of the song was probably at the 2018 Billboard Music Awards. She had a rain concept on the stage. I really like her dress here. The performance was very much 2007 Umbrella Rihanna. When the sun shines, we'll shine together. As far as the chart position, it debuted and peaked at number 3. We had a top 5 right off the bat. And it was her highest debut on the Hot 100 up to this point, actually tied with her single Problem back in like 2014. And No Tears Left to Cry spent about 12 weeks in the top 10. The songs that kept it from going number 1 was Drake's Nice for What and also Drake's God's Plan. It was a very hard year in 2018. On June 20th, we get the promotional single for Sweetener. I love this song. It's so fun. I don't know why the people hate it. It uses a sample of a CNN clip of some man yelling at a former senator at like some town hall meeting that happened in Pennsylvania in the year like 2009. You wouldn't let anybody speak, and instead Pharrell Williams was all over this track and the people hated him for it. No one liked the song and they blamed him. I would say this is where the people really started to turn on Ari, saying this era was a miss and the songs weren't it. No one liked them. The music video was very cute though. We kind of just had Ariana running around in a forest for 3 minutes. Okay, let's talk about the second single of this era. God is a Woman came out on July 13th. This is my go-to workout song. Try doing hip thrusts to the song. Yeah. You will hit failure every single time. What's interesting about this song is that it was originally written for Camila Cabello with a feat from Rita Ora, but Camila let go of the song because she didn't think it sounded right for her. We agree. And the demo for that song was actually leaked online like sometime last year. So the song debuted at 11 and it then dropped to 30 within like a couple of weeks. It was not looking good. Critics loved this song. The fans now had a single that they loved, but the general public hated it. And by the general public, I very much mean Christians. You and I know that God is a Woman is a euphemism for female sexuality, but the Christians very much did not know that. They were out here calling the song disrespectful and blasphemous, and they were trying to get it kicked off radio. I feel like using religion to piss off people is just the rising pop star to legend rite of passage. The music video is probably my favorite one from her, like period. She has not topped since this one. I love the different looks she has in the video, and we cannot forget about her using her finger to the earth. I would say it's probably her most avant-garde and out there one in terms of visuals. The music video also gave us the I'm disgusted meme. But we cannot go on without talking about her iconic VMA performance. She opened up the performance with The Last Supper, and she was also hitting some of her best choreography here. And then she finally brought out her mom and her grandmother at the end of the song, making it so much more like impactful and emotional for her. This is probably my favorite look from her from an award show performance. I think gold's like that color really just looks really good on her skin. I would say this is where the blackfishing allegations kind of started, but they weren't super intense yet, probably till the Thank You Next era. Thanks to her amazing VMA performance, the song started climbing up the charts and it ended up peaking at number 8. So good for you, Ariana. On August 17th, Sweetener is released. It definitely changed the public view of Ariana from being just a basic pop girl, but everyone hated this album and they blamed Pharrell for ruining it. But as the years have gone by, people say it's either now one of her best or her most experimental album. There were so many exceptional songs on this album. We had Successful. It feels so good to be so young and have this fun and be successful. This is very much my go-to like walking on the street song. I like to walk to the beat. It makes me feel like that girl. If you're gonna do a title track, you better do it right, and she very much did it with Sweetener. Once you hear the live version of this song, you will never go back. Every Time was also so good because of her iconic high note at the end of it. What's interesting about REM, and it's also one of my favorites on the album, is that it was actually a demo song that was supposed to go on Beyonce's album Beyonce. Could you imagine if we had gotten it from Beyonce?
I wanna do more than touch you. I'm trying to turn two single people into a couple.
And the last song, Get Well Soon, really does something to my spirit. She was very much holding the glue together for this song through that iconic bridge like Michelle Williams would. Everyone seemed to dislike pretty much all of the features on this song, and they still kind of do. She used this album as a healing process from the Manchester bombing, and I think a lot of people would describe this album as feeling like you're on a cloud. And can I just say, the marketing for this album was spot on, because shortly after she came out with the Cloud perfume, and yes, of course I own one. I would say out of all of her albums, this album cover is definitely my favorite one. She also did the Sweetener sessions, which were kind of like promotional concerts to come for her world tour. And she did these concerts from August 20th to September 4th. On September 18th, we get the final single of this era. Breathin' is probably the most dance pop track on this album, and everyone loved it. She wrote it as a cope to be able to deal with her panic attacks and the PTSD that she developed from the Manchester bombing. My favorite lyrics of the song are probably, sometimes it's hard to find my way up in the cloud, tune it out, they can be so loud. You remind me of a time when things weren't so complicated. I think a lot of people that deal with anxiety can very much relate to this song, and I think the fact that she made it have a more up-tempo vibe makes it so much more inspirational. The music video has Ariana in a haze of clouds with people and events happening around her, which can represent disassociating from those around her and feeling suffocated and just reminding herself to breathe. It's one of my favorite songs on this album, not only for its meaning, but the production is just next level. Like, I live for anything with synth pop infused into it. The single did very well, peaking at 12, and it spent 25 weeks on the chart. We should have gotten it to the top 10, but okay. Mac Miller also passed away right before this song was released, making it a lot more impactful. Shortly after his passing, Ariana also broke off her engagement with Pete Davidson. No one in the fandom really liked him, so it was still kind of sad though. The album went #1 and most of the singles peaked in the top 10. It was her most critically acclaimed album up to this point, and critics said it was her most important album up to this point, and they were right. This was very much her emancipation of Mimi. Pitchfork gave it an 8.1, and it should have been higher. But RIP to Pitchfork, you will be missed. I would say my top 5 on this album is Sweetener, Every Time, REM, God Is a Woman, and Get Well Soon. The Sweetener World Tour was announced on October 25th. I will never forgive myself for not going. The only reason I did not go on this tour was because I had a math final that exact same day and at the exact same time that the concert was starting. Had I known COVID was coming, I would have went to the concert. After going on her world tour, she then released Excuse Me, I Love You. It was like her concert film for the tour in 2020. What I think we can learn from the Sweetener Era is to not judge the music at first. Like, let's just let it cook. We're so quick to be like, oh, this is bad, this is bad, this is terrible. The era is now a flop, and the songs have only been out for 24 hours. Anyways, that is all I have to say about the Sweetener Era. I really love making these types of videos, so if you like them too, let me know by giving it a like and subscribe to this channel. That would help me out a lot. Also, check out some of my other videos. I think they're very much a good time, so please go enjoy yourselves. I want to thank all of you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.